The first thing we are going to do is cook a blonde roux. Like all roux, we're going to start by heating the fat. Melt 4 tablespoons of butter over low heat. And then whisk into it the flour and the cornstarch slowly. Whisk slowly until the flour takes on a slight tan color. This is called a blonde roux and is useful in a large number of applications. Now you're going to add into your roux your minced garlic and stir on medium until the garlic browns around the edges. Now add the rest of your spices. I like using Boon Spice. Stir in, whisking quickly, your milk until well combined. With your whisk, stir until the sauce comes to a boil and visibly thickens. You may need to adjust the sauce at this point by adding more milk or cooking longer until it reaches the desired thickness. This is now a simple bechamel sauce. At this point, start melting into the sauce the cheese. While still on medium heat, start melting the cheese into the sauce. Only add into it 1 small handful at a time, and stir until the cheese is completely melted. Remove from the heat. Once the pot is boiling, put the pasta into water and stir a few times. And then bring back to a boil. Reduce heat to low and cook until the pasta is just a bit underdone. At this point, you could use the sauce in some macaroni and you can have a great dish of macaroni and cheese. However, we can do better than that by making a more stable sauce by making this into a simple custard. Now, with your whisk, see how good it is to have one of these? And beat the egg yolk until the color of it lightens. Slow down for a moment here. We can't just mix this sauce without getting the egg ready to join up with it. This is now going to be like a blind date. It can either turn out great or become an instant disaster. Even without being on the heat, this sauce has more than enough heat to cook this egg yolk instantly. You do not want this to happen until you want the egg to be cooked. So now we are going to have to do something called tempering. Add to the egg small amounts of the sauce while whisking quickly, hence why the yolk is in a much bigger bowl than it really needs, until you've stirred into the egg about double the amount of sauce that there was egg to begin with. Okay, that should be good. What we have done here is slowly warm the egg with the hot sauce close to the temp that the sauce is at, making it now safe to mix this into that. By the way, this is a spot where an assistant is not just nice, it is essential. Quickly add the egg mix back into the sauce. And over medium heat, stir quickly until the sauce comes to a boil. Why did we add the egg, you ask? Well, for one, the texture of the sauce will be smoother and stay smoother because what we now have is a simple custard. Being a custard, the sauce is now more stable and less likely to separate after reheating. Since we are going to bake the final dish in the oven after adding the sauce to the pasta, this is a good thing. You see, when a sauce is thickened using a roux, which is flour and or starch in fat, is reheated, some of that fat will tend to escape the mix and would need to be stirred back in. Sometimes it won't want to go back because remember, oil and water really don't like each other. The egg yolk contains a natural emulsifiers that will help hold the sauce together and thus stabilize the sauce. This is also great on baked potatoes and broccoli.
You can really only know when this is done, just a little underdone on the chewy side. The only way to really check is to fish out a noodle and touchdown. Needs about 5 more minutes.
Now I can give you a ballpark to start checking, which will usually be with elbow noodles about 5 to 6 minutes. Check every minute and be ready to turn it into a colander and shake a few times before pouring it directly into your sauce. And turn quickly in order to coat, something I should make a note of. You should start this process before you begin to make the sauce. If you do so, then the sauce should be just finishing up when the pasta itself is ready. Don't eat all the pasta.
Get when they're hot. Dump off the water into a colander. I need you to move. Stand back. This is hot. Very hot.
Okay.
Stir it together.
At this point, the sky is indeed the limit. You can serve this now as a side dish. What I prefer to do is make this into a casserole. As such, many things can be added to the mix in a large variety of different final forms. You can stir in crumbled bacon and hamburger, and you get cheeseburger mac. You can mix in cubed ham, just bacon, or even toasted spam.
Spam, 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 spamity, spam, 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 spamity, spam.
Quack! The sky and your imagination is indeed the limit. At this point, sprinkle on a layer of breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese. No, not the stuff in the can, this. You will have to grate it yourself, but it is worth making the effort. Once this is on top, place the pan in a 350-degree oven and bake for 30 minutes or until the top is golden brown. Once done, let this rest for at least 15 minutes before serving. You can garnish with dried parsley.